The very first book that I read about sound was the biography of Rasul Pukuti.
Oh, that's amazing. Indian Institute of Creative Skills, as per you, could you just enhance or maybe enlighten us with that?
The Indian Institute of Creative Skills is a platform where students actually get to get a real world exposure, industry experience, as well as learning the top of the line industry standard technology practices and using the tools that is currently available in the industry and create some amazing content out there.
Welcome to Made for Media, another episode, another story. Here we meet the creative minds and capture talent. Today, the guest is here who's a true sound architect. He is an alumnus of Vancouver Film School and have worked for blockbuster pictures and movies like Pushpa 2, Lucifer 2 Emburan, and Tamil film Test featuring R. Madhavan and Nailtara. He is not only in the film and Bollywood industry, however, he has worked across multiple countries and training the next generation of audio professionals. Hi, sir. Welcome to our podcast.
Hi, Sahil. Good to be here. Thanks for having me.
So, sir, let's talk about sound today.
Okay.
My first question will be, let's rewind a bit. How did your journey into sound begin? Was there a moment that sparked it all?
I believe it was when I'm an amateur guitarist. I'm self-taught. So that and my love for films, which I've had right from childhood, kind of blended into what I'm doing today, which is doing sound design and sound recording. But the true spark, to be honest with you, came from a book that I read. The very first book that I read about sound was the biography of Rasul Pukuti,
Oh, that's amazing.
which is which actually happened during my first year at my sound engineering school. That was where I got my foundations of sound, and I happened to come across this amazing book which spoke a lot about how sound is done for movies, and that sparked a huge interest, made me discover a whole new world.
So, you have worked on massive projects all across the country. What's your process when you start designing for a film?
Every project, I believe, starts with the script, from the story, right? So I would always ask for the script as soon as I'm brought on board for a project, and I try to get a third person, mostly like an audience perspective of how the story goes. I don't immediately start thinking about sound, but more along the lines of how does it make me feel, and what am I getting out of this story? And then the sound comes later on. So if I'm not given a script, I would even prefer a narration, because then I'm directly getting to hear what the director's vision is all about. I might not be getting the same vision when I'm reading a script. So I would prefer a narration over a script, but that is the first step of how the journey starts into sound.
So, you've built custom sound studios and sound systems and immersive labs all across the country. What drives you to keep innovating?
I believe we are at a day and age right now where technology is moving at an incredibly fast pace. And also the tools available for people who are just getting into this field, it's just immense. There's so much out there. So I think it is the right time for us to be innovating in terms of how fast we can make all of these technologies available to people, so we can start creating more content, more amazing projects. So my idea, anytime when I would set up a VR lab, just like how right now we have plans to set up a VR lab here at IICS, is to have these tools accessible to the students right when they're studying, and they do not have to wait until they graduate and start working in a big professional studio or a professional company to get access to all of these tools. So that is, I think, what makes students industry ready with the advancement in this fast-paced technology, and they'll be able to step right into it and make beautiful content.
That's amazing. And I have a question regarding your IICS setup that you was mentioned. Can you just throw more light over?
So what we have planned is to set up a VR sound designing lab where students will get to learn more about how to design sound apart from a conventional storytelling, which is normal narratives or films that we usually use. But now, because we are getting more into the realm of virtual reality and augmented reality and 360 videos, which is becoming very popular, and pretty soon we'll be watching an entire feature film in virtual reality. So I think it's very important to get students who learn how to design sound for these kind of new formats, immersive formats. And that starts right here at the school level. So that is one of the main reasons that we want to do the VR lab here at IICS.
So you have taught students in places like Shanghai. What has been your approach to help these young creators follow their passion for music?
Oh boy. I think for me, it really starts at the student level whenever I teach. Especially these days, I feel that students in general have a very low attention span and they have to be entertained. So, what I try to do is try to make even a very technical concept in sound, explain it in a very entertaining way so that it relates more to them, and also it's easier for them to understand and think of this as something fun. Because at the end of the day, passion and the fun element of wanting to learn about sound is something that I cannot teach. That's something that students must develop from within themselves. And when I try to teach it in such a way that they feel the passion that I have for this field, it enables them to open up their minds and then be very enthusiastic about, oh wow, there's so much more to do, and I'm really passionate about this makes me more passionate to learn. So I think that approach has really worked in my favor in all the places that I've taught.
Wonderful, sir. Apart from that, there's one thing that really, I'm very curious to ask you about the Indian Institute of Creative Skills. Indian Institute of Creative Skills, as per you, could you just enhance or maybe enlighten us with that?
The Indian Institute of Creative Skills is a platform where students actually get to get a real world exposure, industry experience, as well as learning the top of the line industry standard technology practices and using the tools that is currently available in the industry, and create some amazing content out there. So I think it is a great opportunity for students to basically take this platform as that learning at the big step. I would call a big step. It's not a small step because of what IIC is offering. And it's really getting them ready to take on the world. I truly believe that students who graduate from IICS would be right on top in par with all of the industry professionals, that they can be really incorporated in the industry right away rather than going from a very base fresher, oh, I'm very new to this industry sort of level, to I am a professional and I'm ready to take on any task that's given to me. And that is the beauty of IICS, I believe.
That's amazing. Well, that's what we say, made for media and built for success.
Absolutely. And I truly feel that IICS hold on to that value.
Thank you so very much. And so, what advice would you like to give to somebody who is just maybe exploring or discovering this field of sound?
I would say that, first of all, be a very open textbook. Our field is not something that you can just learn and forget. It's an ever evolving industry. It's a very fun industry, but there's lots to learn on an everyday basis. So there's something that I personally follow whenever I'm on board onto every new project. There are certain conventions, but there's no hard and fast rules that there's only this way you can do this. Every project is new. Every scenario will be new. There will be challenges. There will be challenges you've already faced. There will be challenges that you're yet to discover, to solve. But in all those cases, just being open to learning, being open to grabbing everything and then troubleshooting and understanding concepts. I think that is the best part about being in this field. And that is how people should also come into this field. And like I said, passion is what's going to keep you going through everything, whether it's industry, whether it's education. Always having that passion for creating something is what keeps me glued to this, regardless of if I'm doing a project for money basis, if I'm doing a project because I love it, because of a project if I'm getting a recognition for, I still do it because my core value is I'm very passionate about why I started this. And that is what I think every person who is kind of getting into the field should do.
So, as you say, keep learning. Let's learn some fun facts about you. So, we are moving towards the next segment of this podcast, which is the rapid fire round.
Wow. I didn't know there was going to be a rapid fire. You should have given me a warning there.
So, well, our audience are really excited about this
Okay.
round, and your answers have to be really rapid, sir.
Let's go.
So, the first question: what's the first sound you ever fell in love with?
The very first recording that I made when I got my very first recorder, which was I woke up in the morning at around 6 a.m. I was very excited about this new piece of equipment that I owned. And I recorded the Kausalya Suprabhadam, the chant that was coming from the temple across my house.
Wow,
That is always the sound that forever is going to be ringing in my head.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
Analog or digital? What's your go-to?
Digital.
Wonderful. One sound tool you always use.
My ears, I think.
That was rapid.
Yeah.
Well, one favorite movie with great sound design.
Apocalypse Now.
Well, thank you so very much, sir, for being at the show. It
Absolutely.
was amazing with you, and thanks for sharing the insights that you shared with us for our students and the viewers.
I'm super glad that I got to do this. Thank you so much for having me. And I'm really hoping that IICS turns into a very successful venture for all of the students. Anyone who's coming to IICS, come with high hopes, because IICS would definitely going to be delivering more than what you're expecting. That is the way we've actually designed programs and courses and structured it. And it's just, I personally tell students that I wish I could go back to my days of learning, because I envy the students who are getting this level of education right now. I wish I got this when I was studying, but I'm also so glad that they are getting industry ready from our institution. So it's just brilliant, and it's amazing. It's going to be an amazing journey.
Absolutely. So keep watching, keep listening, and keep creating, and keep following us.